You know how we all have these big goals, these amazing dreams, but something always seems to get in the way. Well, what if, for most of us, it's the exact same thing? Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful idea from Napoleon Hill's classic, Think and Grow Rich. This one hidden enemy he believed is the root of pretty much all failure.
So, let me ask you, what do you think really sabotages your success? Is it not having enough money? Is it just bad luck? Maybe not having the right degree? Napoleon Hill argued that it's something way more subtle. And, maybe surprisingly, it's something that is completely 100% within our control.
All right, so to get to the bottom of this, Hill first had to identify what he called the 6 ghosts of fear. Just think of these as the common enemies that we all recognize, right? The ones that kind of haunt our progress and can totally paralyze us before we even get started.
Take a look at this list. These are incredibly familiar, aren't they? The fear of poverty, of what other people will think, of getting sick. Hill says these things create a state of mind that just leads to worry, indecision, and doubt. They're the obvious bad guys that stop us in our tracks. But, and this is the crucial point, Hill believed these are just the symptoms. They're not the real disease. Okay, so if those 6 big fears are just the symptoms, what's the actual disease? This is where Hill's true genius comes in. He looked past all of that to identify the one thing that allows all the others to even exist in the first place. He called it the 7th basic evil, the true root of failure. See, while everyone else was focused on fighting poverty or battling criticism, Hill realized they were just fighting the symptoms. They weren't getting to the cause. He saw this deeper, more insidious enemy at play, one that operates so quietly in the background of our minds, we barely even notice it's there.
And here it is. The 7th basic evil is your susceptibility to negative influences. It's that tendency to just allow the negative thoughts of others, and even our own negative impulses, to just set up shop in our minds and start dictating our actions. It's basically like leaving the front door of your mind wide open for discouragement and doubt to just walk right in.
And Hill, well, he did not mince words about this. Just listen to that. He believed this one weakness was more dangerous, more fatal, than the fear of poverty, criticism, or even the fear of death itself. And you have to ask, why? Well, because it's the master key, right? It's the thing that unlocks the door for all the other fears to come rushing in.
Here's a good way to think about it. Imagine your mind is a garden. Being susceptible to negative influences is like having this perfectly fertile, rich soil just waiting for weed seeds to be planted. The fears of poverty, criticism, those are the seeds. But you know what? Without that fertile, unguarded soil, those seeds of fear would have nowhere to take root. They'd just blow away.
So, okay, if this susceptibility is the core problem, how in the world do we solve it? Well, Hill didn't just point out the disease. He gave us the cure. The whole goal is to build a mental fortress, to develop what he called mental immunity.
Hill lays out 3 really key steps. First, you have to recognize your own nature. He argues that we are all by default a little bit lazy and susceptible to negative suggestions. That's not a moral failing, he says. It's just the default setting. So, second, you have to consciously build habits to counteract that default. This takes proactive effort. And third, you have to actively protect your mind. This means being super selective about the people and the information you allow to influence you. And the starting point for building this defense? It's all about rigorous, brutally honest self-analysis. Think about it. You can't protect a fortress if you don't even know where the walls are weak. You have to take inventory. You've got to figure out exactly how and where those negative influences are getting in.
Hill gives us this list of really unflinching questions for this self-analysis. Do you let other people worry you? Do you sidestep responsibility? And this one's tough. Are you the negative influence on other people? Oof. Answering these questions honestly is the first, and let's be real, often the hardest step toward building that mental fortress.
And this comparison just shows you the stakes so clearly. On one side, you got a mind that's left wide open to negative influence. It's passive, it's reactive, it's controlled by whatever happens to it. But on the other side, a protected mind is driven, it's disciplined, and it's in control of its own destiny. And the difference isn't talent or luck, it's just mental management.
And this all leads to Hill's most empowering message. Look, you might not control the economy, or your boss, or the weather, but you have absolute control over one single thing, your thoughts. Your mind is your sacred territory, and protecting it isn't just a good idea, it's your #1 responsibility. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Is your mind a well-guarded fortress, actively protecting your ambitions? Or is it what Hill called the the devil's workshop. Just an idle, open space where negative influences are totally free to sow the seeds of failure. The choice, as he makes so incredibly clear, is entirely yours.